The architectural and written monuments of ancient Egypt have preserved information that is extremely important for humanity. They say that after the great catastrophe in the solar system, which occurred about 17,000 years ago, events began to occur on Earth that have an extremely negative impact on the human immune system. These events have created and are creating conditions when some peoples lose the collective immunity acquired in the course of their evolution. Mortality from ailments, which previously the immune system coped with only a slight increase in temperature, is sharply increasing. The culprit of these negative events was discovered in the depths of the solar system. Hello, my name is Valery Uvarov, and this is a scientific and educational series of forgotten ancestral knowledge. Can the cause of negative events on Earth be not a person, but someone from outside or something, or is it all God's providence? Let's try to figure it out. Continuous astronomical observations, which the Egyptian priests carried out for thousands of years, revealed the source of the negative influence and allowed to calculate the cycles of destructive phenomena on Earth. Obeying the powerful influence of cosmic factors, once every 4 years Venus, moving clearly according to schedule, suddenly slows down its flight and Mars begins to accelerate. At the same moment, Saturn's two moons Janus and Epimetheus exchange orbits, and an El Niño current appears on Earth. The name of this phenomenon was given in the 19th century by Peruvian fishermen in honor of the baby Jesus. They were the first to draw attention to the fact that once every 4 years, during the celebration of Catholic Christmas, the water in the ocean becomes warmer, which leads to the mass death of fish. It took modern scientists more than 100 years to understand how much the El Niño factor affects the climate of our planet. But what is the reason for its occurrence? Scientists cannot say until now. The appearance of El Niño. This is a bad omen, which is sure to be followed by floods, tsunamis, outbreaks of epidemics more often in the countries of the Pacific Basin. The appearance of El Niño is generated by an increase in the intensity of the Earth's electromagnetic field, resulting from a powerful cosmic impact that causes not only large-scale, natural, but also social cataclysms. 2000, the first year, the 11th of September, terrorist attacks in the United States, the war in Afghanistan began. The increase in the intensity of the Earth's electromagnetic field has led to outbreaks of cholera, noted in 21 countries of the world. Exactly 4 years have passed. 6 days before the new 2005 year, a terrible tsunami in the Indian Ocean claimed more than 300,000 lives. Orange revolutions swept across Europe and Asia. The number of natural, aviation, and man-made disasters has increased dramatically. Climatic anomalies, earthquakes, and tsunamis. 4 more years have passed, and the 29th year brought a sharp increase in the number of man-made and plane crashes, mass riots in Asia and the Middle East, earthquakes in Haiti, Chile, Indonesia, which caused a huge tsunami, a worldwide epidemic of swine flu, a cholera epidemic in Haiti, and a global economic crisis. The 2013 year began with a very bright cosmic event, the fall of the Chelyabinsk meteorite. Everything is as scheduled. An earthquake in the Solomon Islands, then in Iran, in China, in Palestine, in the Philippines. Devastating floods in India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, Mexico, and the Philippines. Sociopolitical unrest and unrest swept through many countries of the world. Bird flu has come to South and East Asia. The number of disasters is increasing at the beginning of each 12-year cycle. 2017 year brought hurricanes Harvey, Irma, Debbie, and Maria. Forest fires in Russia, Argentina, Chile, Portugal, France, and America. The world was shaken by terrible earthquakes, floods, eruptions, avalanches, landslides, train wrecks, and plane crashes. 4 more years have passed, and the new 2021 year has shown that the world has ceased to be the same. The peak of the COVID-19 virus outbreak caught humanity by surprise. Millions of people are forced to languish in self-isolation. Crisis, high mortality, fear. The reason for such a rapid spread of the virus and the specifics of the immune response is an abnormal increase in solar activity and the intensity of the Earth's electromagnetic field. By the end of 2021 year, political unrest in the world related to Ukraine led to the beginning of a special operation. Political and economic tensions are tending to the boiling point. Statistics clearly demonstrate the very fact of correlation of cataclysms in nature, in the sociopolitical sphere, and the health of people with 4- and 12-year cycles. The rhythmic increase in the intensity of the Earth's electromagnetic field creates favorable conditions for mutations and the development of various viruses and bacteria, including the immunodeficiency virus of wild and domestic animals, which will be transmitted to a person with weakened immunity. Therefore, the main thing is to strengthen the immune system and give up everything that depletes it. Faced with such a formidable and inescapable cosmic factor, our distant ancestors created special means of protection. Understanding the causes and mechanism of disorders occurring in the human body, the priests developed a set of measures for effective prevention of immunity, and then spread the information around the world. The image of these means can still be found among the Egyptians, in Tibet, in Sumer, in Colombia, among the Elamites and other ancient civilizations. In Egypt, a set of means to strengthen the immune system was named after the god Horus, the god of harmony. In any museum in the world, you will see statues of pharaohs and priests tightly clutching caduceus rods, which were an object of the highest importance, with which they did not part throughout their lives. Years of research have shown that the caduceus and the mountain have a unique feature: the ability to synchronize the vibrations of the human aura with the rhythms of vibration of the aura of the Earth. Tibetan lamas said that the caduceus and the mountain, which they called Vajra, were given by the gods of heaven for use by the lords of Shambhala. In the Emerald Tablet of Hermes, in the ancient Hermetic text, there is a direct indication of the need for synchronization with the energies of heaven and earth. Expressing through philosophy the idea of reconciling what is below with what is above, the priests sought to teach people how to turn cosmic forces to the earth, which would be the most important step in the knowledge of God and the immortality of the soul. In the hands of the goddess Kiririshi, the object depicted on this cup is very similar to Jaeger's caduceus. The cult of the great goddess among the Elamites, originating in the 3rd millennium BC, was closely connected with the calculations of the cycle of Venus. Venus rotates in a second orbit associated with the second energy envelope of the solar system. Let us recall once again that the caduceus and the mountain were created to synchronize the energy shells of man, earth, and sky. The second energy shell of a person is connected with the second chakra, which is responsible for the sexual sphere. It is no accident that Venus is considered the goddess of love. So Jaeger's caduceus in the cult of the goddess Kiririshi was used to stimulate the development of the sexual sphere, which is of great importance for the human immune system. In addition, the Igorov caduceus allows you to harmonize to opposing components of the flow of time, which in the Eastern tradition were called yin-yang and in ancient Egyptian baka. With the help of the caduceus of Horus, the coordination of human rhythms with the energy rhythms of the earth, Shambhala, and the solar system is carried out. As a result, a special energy of life enters a person, freeing him from diseases and negative vibrations. It is amazing that the Emerald Tablet of Gethimes speaks about this directly. This energy ascends from earth to heaven and does not descend to earth again, acquiring the properties of both higher and lower planes. Using this mechanism, you acquire the quality inherent in the universe. As a result, you will be freed from all violations and all evil. The most important conclusion of many years of research was the conclusion that the real causes of epidemics, social and man-made disasters have a cosmic origin. Perhaps someone will object, citing the coronavirus vaccine as an example. They say that modern medicine will cope with everything and has gone beyond ancient technologies. The use of vaccines in the fight against epidemics has two significant drawbacks. Firstly, vaccines have many side effects and extremely negative consequences for human health. Secondly, the immunity acquired with the help of vaccination will be temporary. Constantly changing cosmic factors will again and again lead to the fact that people will lose their immunity to certain viruses, acquired in the course of life, including with the help of vaccines. Therefore, in order to effectively combat the negative influence of viruses and bacteria, one should strengthen one's immune system. With the help of mechanisms provided for by human nature itself, where the caduceus of the mountain and the pyramids have played and will still play their decisive role. The gradual increase in solar activity, which began in 1994, is steadily moving towards the moment when the sun will go wild. Given the phases of the 4-year and 12-year space social cycles, it can be expected that this will happen in the very near future. The sun will literally weigh itself, entering a phase of destabilizing effects, not only on the permeability of cell membranes, ATP synthesis, and the immune system, but also on the orbital stability of the planets of the solar system. Mentions of such cosmic events have been preserved in the cataclysmic zodiac of the Egyptian temple of Iyun Tanj in Dendera. Naturally, the epidemic situation on Earth will only worsen. We are waiting for difficult but fateful events. Those whose immune system will be able to withstand the pressure of negative factors will be able to survive the impending troubled times. Once pharmacology made a mistake by starting to use drugs that deceive or deplete the immune system. As a result, immunodeficiency has become the norm of life. We need to stop deceiving our immune system as soon as possible, which is always ready to come to our aid. Are we ready to meet her halfway? Our only chance is to start helping our immune system as soon as possible, using the mechanisms provided by human nature itself. We need to return to the technologies that our distant ancestors used and which can provide us with invaluable help. In this case, we will have a future. In this series, you learned what exactly was the cause of negative events on Earth, and how our distant ancestors struggled with the influence of negative factors. In the next episode, you will find out who exactly is the culprit of the destabilizing impact on the planets of the solar system. Watch the sequel to preserve the legacy of our ancestors. With love, Valery Uvarov.